Hi, I'm Leisa Wheeler from Embracing Health, and today I'm going to take you on a tour through my kitchen. One of the questions I get asked a lot is how to stay on track as a raw foodist, or even someone who's transitioning and including more raw food in their diet. I've just moved house, so I've cleaned out my kitchen, I've set it up just the way I want it, and I'm going to show you through so that you know how to plan your kitchen to get the best results in raw food. Okay, so first thing I'm going to start with is my jars. So you can see here I've got a huge array of beautiful glass jars with a stainless steel vacuum seal lid, and I keep a lot of my day-to-day raw foods or dry goods in these jars because it's very easy for me to see how much I've got and I can reorder and load up whenever I like. So the first ones down here are my superfoods in the small jars. The first one I've got here is bee pollen. I love using bee pollen. It's high in protein and it's a superfood. It's a very healing, anti-aging food. So that's my bee pollen. Here I have camu, and this is a berry that's very high in vitamin C. So having a little bit poor adrenal function, I like to use vitamin C regularly. So camu goes in my juices and smoothies. Here we have maca powder. Again, it's a great adrenal boost. It's good for stamina, it balances hormone levels, and is a really lovely one to add into smoothies. Then we have mesquite powder. This one balances blood sugar levels. It's high in protein, and it's quite sweet, so you can add it into dessert recipes or smoothies, and it gives a bit of a sweet flavour. Then we have some white chia seeds, and they're Australian grown organic chia seeds. Very soothing for the lining of the bowel. They bulk out different recipes, like a banana pawpaw puree that I make. You can use chia seeds in that to give it a lovely consistency like a set yogurt. And then we have our spirulina powder at the end, and they're the superfoods that I would use on a more regular basis. So I keep those handy, on the counter. Behind that I have a lot of dry goods, so I'll go through them quickly. You'll be familiar with most of these. So here we have mung beans for sprouting, organic almonds. In here, behind here, is really raw cashews. So these are the hand-shelled ones that are not cooked, so they're not boiled in oil to extract them. They're actually hand-shelled. We have walnuts. Then over here we start into dulse, which is a seaweed, wakame. And over here is shiitake mushrooms, which are great for the immune system. So they're dried shiitakes. And at the end we have flax seeds, so they're for making dehydrated flax crackers. Then we have sunflower seeds, good for seed cheeses or different pastes that you're putting together. Carob powder, and over here is cacao powder. So we've got both carob and cacao. I like using both of them because cacao for me is a little bit too stimulating if I'm using it by itself. So when I'm making dessert recipes or using them in different smoothies or superfood elixirs, I do half carob and half cacao, and they complement each other because carob has a good lot of calcium in it and cacao has magnesium, so they go together really well for bone health. There I have lentils for sprouting, buckwheat for sprouting, and I also use those quite a lot in my dehydrated crackers. Goji berries, of course, pepitas, dates, chickpeas for sprouting, and figs. So that's where I keep the bulk of my dry goods, and I can easily see when I'm running low in any of those. Okay, the next one will be the fridge. And surprise, surprise, it's full of fruit and veggies. Okay, so we'll go through just a little bit in here. So I've got some fruits that I've been using. Tahini, olives, and apple cider vinegar. More fruit and veggies, greens, of course. A whole tray of mangoes because I love mangoes. And in here I have the Grainfields fermented drink, which is great for putting good bacteria back into the bowel. So when I haven't fermented anything myself, I like to use something like this so I'm getting my fermented food every day. Okay, and of course more veggies down the bottom. And just in here there's a few things like kelp noodles that I like to use in salads. They're fantastic. Really good for making great Asian flavoured dishes. And down the bottom I've got some oils, a Udo's blend, which is a blend of 3, 6 and 9, and hemp oil. So this is a Pure Delight hemp oil and hemp protein powder. Also some MSM, silica and aloe vera juice, and those 3 I put in my morning detox juice. So I'll make up a juice of cucumber, celery, lemon and orange, and then I'll mix in some MSM, silica and aloe vera. And if anyone listens to David Wolf, they'd know that's a very good blend for getting rid of bad calcium out of the body. The freezer doesn't have much in it. Frozen blueberries and frozen bananas, and a bit of almond meal from when I make some nut milk. And that's it. Freezer doesn't have much. Okay, over this way we've got a fruit bowl. And in this corner, you can see I've collected a lot of beautiful organic teas from the Byron Bay Tea Company. So if you do come over to my house for a cuppa, sorry, there's no coffee and there's no sugar, but what we have is a range of beautiful organic teas, from your dandelions to licorice to chai to detox teas, digestion, immunity. Whatever you feel like, you can come and have a beautifully brewed organic tea. And if it's really, if you're too bitter and you want some sweet, stevia drops. So no sugar here. Okay, just with a little bit of the equipment. Setting up a raw food kitchen. I have a really good juicer here, the Angel juicer, which is a stainless steel juicer, and I found that fantastic, so really good. Then we have the blender. This is one that is not a very expensive blender. It's called the Sunbeam Cafe series. It's around $200 and it does a great job. So I know one day I will have probably a Vitamix, but in the meantime this does a great job. Knife set and a dehydrator. So I get my dehydrator down and use that frequently as well. So they're the main pieces of equipment. I also have a food processor. So when you're setting up a raw food kitchen, they're the basics that you really need. So your juicer, blender, dehydrator and food processor. Okay, the pantry. Now again, there's not too much in this one because a lot of the food is fresh fruit and veg. So come and have a little peek in here. Okay, up here we've got some nori sheets, some dry shiitake mushrooms, some culture starter for when I'm fermenting vegetables, so making a sauerkraut or a cultured beetroot and carrot. So I've got some culture starter, nutritional yeast, and here I've just got some vanilla extract, olive oil and tamari, which is a wheat-free soy-based sauce that is fermented. Next shelf down we've got a few more foods like coconut oil, some spices like a hot chili seasoning and an all-purpose, some cinnamon, some raw honey, raw organic honey, sun-dried tomatoes, which as you can see, these are very brown. So when you see bright red dried tomatoes, they have sulfur on them and they're no good. So we want really brown sun-dried tomatoes. There's some psyllium, some Himalayan salt, chia seeds, and some Loving Earth agave syrup. So there's been a lot said about agave being a really bad product. Loving Earth guarantees theirs is cold pressed and it doesn't have the dangerous factors that come in when it has been heat processed. So if you're going to use a bit of agave, that's the one to get. Down a little bit further, this is where I keep my bulk foods. So when I fill up my jars and I've got them left over, they come in here. So here I've got more flax seeds and almonds and goji berries in that area. And right down the bottom I have some herbs. So this one's reishi mushroom powder, some chaga mushroom powder, some powder arco and cat's claw, different immune herbs that I will brew up and make different elixirs and teas and different medicinal products out of. So the pantry doesn't have that much in it compared to a lot of people's pantries anyway. Okay. Lastly, I'm just going to show you under my sink, because another important factor in health is not using toxic chemicals in the house. So here you can see my cleaning cupboard. So all we have in here is some white vinegar, some bicarb soda, some borax powder, eco-friendly washing up liquid, and some My Essence cleaning products. And that's it. So there's no fly sprays or exit mold or chemicals to speak of. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed the tour through my kitchen, and with this video I'm going to put underneath a PDF file so you can download a pantry list and you can set up your kitchen just like mine. Thanks.